man, work is on point, man. Like, work is definitely on point. We got done working. When we got done working, we started working on some extracurricular activities. I got done with some things. I'm setting myself up for my next careers. My next careers are going to be jumping off in less than a few months, really. So I'm super excited. I didn't get a chance to read a book. I got this book, Rich Dad Poor Dad. I'm going to start reading it later today. And my plan is to get done by Tuesday. So when I get done by Tuesday, I'll be part of the cool people who have read that book. And the weather is like super crazy right now because it's super cold. So definitely going to push through. And when I push through it today, I think I'm going to construct a new documentations plan. I feel like I'm evolving to the point I need a new way of documenting goals, because right now I have a phone, and on my phone I have daily tasks, and then on my calendar I have like tasks I need to be doing throughout the day, like goals, like plans, you know. I have a shared calendar, and then I have like little sticky notes. And after the sticky notes, I have another folder with stuff. So I'm like, man, I got too many checklists and documentations to keep up. So I'm definitely going to construct me a more productive way of documenting my desired tasks and goals. I feel like that's really going to be needed with organization and being more structured when I'm conducting my activities. So that's going to be my next plan in the whole self-development and improvement. I think that's going to be like super, super critical for me. And I notice a lot of times when we're trying to improve ourselves, we tend to negatively critique our current plan. You know, just because you need to grow doesn't mean you're in a bad place. You know, it's like just because you want to lose some weight don't mean you're fat. You know? So I definitely want to focus on that a little more, you know, being more positive in my current self and being more aware of my good qualities, and instead of focusing on my negative qualities. You know, you gotta sharpen your skills, but you can get some new skills, but nothing wrong with sharpening the good skills you do have. So I definitely want to focus on that more. But that's going to be like super critical as, you know, you get older and people start watching you more. You don't want them to lose sight of what you're good at because you're trying to get good at something else, you know. I have flaws, and a lot of times, you know, we focus on our flaws too much. You know, it's like, wow, I'm not good at this. I wish I could do that more. How can I do that more? Instead of saying, you know what, I'm not good at this, but I am good at that. Because I remember in school, I was good at math. I was good at math. I could be good at science, but I just want to apply myself to science because sometimes that stuff didn't make any sense in my real life. You know, those chemicals, I couldn't relate to those chemicals in real life, but math, I can relate to math because it's like a challenge, you know, it's only one answer. Okay, let me get the answer fastest. Let me show you I can do this. So that's why I really did good at math, but writing and reading was more entering another world that not yours, you can't control, and that's what I struggled in, you know. Instead of me reading for comprehension and enjoyment, I was always like, I don't want to do this. This doesn't make any sense. What I'm getting out of reading this book, things like that, you know. And I got older, and as I further my education, all we do is read and write and comprehend. Math and science is like irrelevant unless you're going into their profession, you know. And I never had desires to go into a math and science profession. So I wish I would have been a little motivated to focus on things I wasn't good at without losing what I was good at, you know. Because I would take an honors accelerated math class and science class, but I would like give you the basic fundamentals of reading and writing, and that definitely that created some unnecessary barriers when I started getting older and being educated. And you know, my mom would always tell me, you know, hey, this and you know, this and that about reading and writing. I'm like, man, whatever, mom, I'm gonna be a DJ. It's shocking to say that now, but yeah, I had dreams on being a DJ. I wanted to be a DJ for like up until maybe college. I wanted to be a DJ until I got to college, and I got to college. I was like, man, I'm not gonna make much money being a DJ. I want to work for ESPN. I want to be a sports broadcaster. And funny though, funny. I wrote for a newspaper for like almost a year, West Tennessee Examiner, as a 17-year-old. And when I did this, it was really cool, but it was only cool to say I did this, you know. It wasn't cool because people was like, oh my goodness, Michael, good article. It was more like, y'all see me in the paper? Yeah, it was one of those things. Like, it wasn't, did you read my article? It was, did you see me in the paper? So, I definitely wanted to be seen, you know. I definitely had ambitions, and I was inspired to being seen and by my peers, because growing up, we did a lot of moving, and I wouldn't say it was hard to make friends, but like when I made a friend, I got a little attached to them, you know, and that definitely affects me to this day, you know. If I call you my friend, I'm kind of attached to you, even I may don't want to be your friend, but like I'm attached to you. So when I was growing up, my careers was based off, I want to be seen because I want to be a friend, you know. So if I had more reading and writing skills, I don't feel like I would have had those desires. But yeah, I definitely wanted to be a sports broadcaster. I grew out as a sports broadcaster only because, and I blame my grandmama for this one. My grandma would be like, you don't articulate your words, and she used to try to give me speech lessons. My grandma used to try to give me speech lessons, so that really discouraged me from wanting to be a broadcaster. And I would like record myself talking, and like even now, you know, I hate hearing myself talking. I really hate hearing myself talking because the way I talk is really like, I talk so I can hear myself. So when you talk to hear yourself, you want to make sure you sound good, and it's not natural at all. But when you talk for others can hear you, it's more, you're projecting yourself to somebody. I'm projecting myself to myself. So that whole disconnect when I'm talking creates a little turbulence when I'm communicating with public. Because when I communicate with the public, it's like I still want to hear myself, but it's not supposed to be designed for myself. It's supposed to be designed for others to hear me. So that's what I would say, like, discouraged me from wanting to be that broadcaster. That took my dream away from broadcasting. So after that, I was definitely lost in this world. I went to finance because I was like, ooh, I'm good with math, Yeah, that was short-lived. And then after I got done with math and finance, I came to the realization, I don't know what I want to do. I definitely don't know what I want to do. So it took me, I wouldn't say 10 years, but it took me a while to actually configure what I wanted to do. But if I would have known 2020 hindsight, I wish I had a more desire to read and write than I currently have. Because if I would have had a more desire to read and write when I was younger, it would have opened me up to more things compared to the limitations that I had growing up. I detoured from things that caused me to like read and write more. So definitely, you don't want to lose what you're good at trying to get something else. And I would say my math skills went out the window because these careers I pursued, math wasn't as needed. And when math isn't needed, you don't use it. And I didn't use math all these years. I spent maybe 16, 17 years growing up, just math, science is my favorite. That's all I care about. And then once I got to a higher level of education, it was like math and science not important because you're not going in a math and science career. I've been in dental, a lot of admin work. When I was doing therapy and counseling, a lot of paperwork, a lot of documentation. When I was in grad school is nothing but writing papers, And you don't need to count the papers because the paper has the number at the bottom of the sheet. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So definitely want to focus on what you're good at, sharpen it up, but don't let what you're good at go away. Focusing on something else that you're not good at. You want to try to create a sense of balance. So if you're not good at something, you want to focus on that while you're still using what you're good at. All right, peace out, holla.